chess, nonsense, and analysis. Yeah, hi to everyone. Yeah, this was a very exciting playoff in the semifinals of the Women's World Cup. And yeah, so Koneru Humpy managed to win against the Lei Tingjie, and we will have an all Indian final. So fantastic. Both players will then go to the candidates. Um, of course, there's much more for Divya Deshmukh to fight for. First and foremost, just history, a place in history, but she's fighting for the GM title as well. Um, yeah, so she will be motivated, I think. Both will be motivated, but I think she should be more motivated. Tomorrow is a break, and then afterwards they will play the match, 4 games this time. So very, very exciting. So back to the playoff. So the playoff was extremely tense, extremely tense. So Koneru Humpy because first they start with the rapid, and then after, if the rapids are equal, then they go over to the blitz and so on, right? So the rapid, Koneru Humpy lost the first game. Then in a must-win situation, she did that in the second game 2 of the playoffs. Then they moved over to the blitz, and it was a back and forth thing. But in the blitz, she won then the first game of the blitz, and then which was 5+3. Then this that we were going to see was the final game. Basically, late Tingjie had to win this game. It was a must-win game for her, and yeah, nerves and being tired and yeah, and yeah, it is what it is. But let's have a look at the game first. So the game I found extremely interesting because they were discussing this line. Uh, D396, this very famous, fashionable line now. H6, castles, D6, knight D2, A5, rook E1, castles, H3, bishop E6, and after bishop E6, bishop B5. So in another game, Humpy had tried knight to D7. She tried this move. After which there was D4, if I'm not mistaken. Or was there knight F1? Knight F1 first, and then but D4, and then she didn't. No, it was knight F1 first, then D4, but she didn't manage to equalize nicely in that game. So in this game, she played knight A7. This move has been played before as well, but not by her in this match. Bishop A4, B5, bishop C2, knight C6. So, yeah, black has captured more space, but white still has some pluses because the white's position is very, very solid. And the point is that white is ready, black must be very careful because white can hit back. There's always a A4 as a hit. There's a C4 as a hit. There's a D4 as a hit. So, black has to really manage the situation. Uh, 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 yeah, carefully with. So knight f1, the threat is d4, just d4, and then to win a piece. So d5 is then played. Position becomes quite sharp. She takes back with the queen. Knight g3, rook f e8, queen e2, and rook to d8 is then played. Yeah, one gets the feeling that a3 for me is a little bit, yeah, maybe it's playable, but I think, white should start already thinking about maybe bishop e3 or trying to do something. But okay, a3 cannot be a bad move per se, a4. But yeah, I'm not so sure about this bishop d2. But it's a blitz game. We cannot really put too much emphasis on it. But I have the feeling that white should try to fight for an advantage here somehow with some heat. Of course, it has to be analyzed. She plays bishop d2, so the intention is just to bring pieces to the center, I guess rook d1 or something. Um, and so queen d7 is then played by Humpy. Um, of course, I think this touching this pawn will be very dangerous because the queen is going to be in line with the rook, and that will certainly prove dangerous in the position. Um, so because I don't know, possibly just thinking about it here, because the bishop is hanging, maybe bishop d6. I don't think the queen can get out of the pattern unless okay, queen d4 could be an argument, right? Uh, Queen d4 with the idea that if you attack me, I can go to h4 or something like this. But the queen on h4 and such a position, I wouldn't even be surprised if a move like bishop takes h3 here could work. This looks extremely dangerous for white. The pieces are hiding away, and the black's pieces, it reminds one of a Marshall Gambit, isn't it? Especially with this queen on the same line as the rook. Yeah, I'm guessing this could be dangerous for white. The threat is knight g4, and the threat is to move the bishop and attack the queen over here. If you take the rook, I just take back, let's say with the rook. It's a question. I have to take back with the rook. Who knows what's happening here? But it looks very dangerous nonetheless, right? Um, and I don't think you play like this in such an important game with 5 minutes. Yeah, so she plays uh, King H2, but I think King H2 is a mistake for sure. King H2 is a mistake for sure. And when I was watching this, like just watching the not the evaluation of the engine, but on the board, the engine here jumped and said that this is a blunder. And I was thinking like possibly e4, right? Because the king leaves f2 unguarded. So possibly a move like e4 should be very dangerous. Because there's a bishop c4. Like if you take here, there's bishop c4. And now where does the queen move? If the queen moves to d1, then bishop takes f2, right? And what about knight takes? Maybe knight takes still. Queen takes, I cannot. Queen takes must lose this time because of bishop b3, right? Unless I'm missing something, I don't think so, because the bishop is hanging and the queen. And if you take with the pawn, I possibly play bishop c4, but this time it's also dangerous because bishop takes f2 comes like this, and no, no, this is it must. So queen king h2 was a blunder, but it splits. It was a blunder, and Humpy Koneru could have definitely gotten a big advantage before. But okay, we're not going uh, to crucify her for this because it's a blitz game. Bishop b3 makes a lot of sense because she's looking at d3. It's a very logical move. The bishop on c2 is a defender of the pawn on d3, and bishop b1 is ugly. You don't want to play bishop b1 with the rook on a1. So it takes, and now it's hanging, and now d4. Yeah, here I was looking at this, and I don't know what is happening. It's very wild. I thought for a while that maybe black should play here e4. When I was watching the game, and I don't know. Definitely looks dangerous for white. It looks like white is in serious trouble here. Yeah, possibly white can play still because maybe, I don't know, can white do this and then take on b5? Is it possible even? It doesn't look possible. Take on d2 and then take here on. No, no, but here this. I know it's okay. I thought rook takes e1, but bishop takes. Okay, queen takes and rook takes e8. Rook takes e8. But we can definitely tell and then take on c6. But White is would be living dangerously here. We can tell that black is definitely better in this position. Yeah. Black just has to find an accurate move somehow, and there'll be trouble. So I thought E4, but anyway, remember the issue here is that Humpy is playing for a draw. I mean, what I mean is a draw is enough for Humpy to advance. It was late Tingjie who was in a must-win situation. Yeah. I mean, if Humpy had been in a must-win, she would probably have played E4 much sharper. But now she's just happy um to simplify, you know? And she does this, takes with the knight, and then she takes on F2. Yeah, she's doing very well. Knight D6, further simplifications. Yeah, United States is just desperate. I mean, she's just desperate, trying to find something, but there isn't even a threat, right? And the only way that White could have anything is if Humpy panics, but she doesn't. She just plays it like the ultimate professional that she is. Pins just very strong on patterns, takes there, and then plays rook e8, and then knight e4 is a brilliant move. The knight is now stepping in to attack the white king, and all of a sudden, she resigns. It's going to be, I mean, once you play king h2, I don't even want the queen. I'm going, nope, I don't want the queen. I want to checkmate you. So knight f1, double check, right? King h1, queen h2, checkmate would have followed. So yeah, tough luck for late Tingjie. But she still gets another chance because I think they have to play in terms of who will be third, because I think three players qualify for the candidates. So it's an all Indian final for places 1 and 2, and it's an all Chinese, like play or well, yeah, play for third position. Let's put it that way. But it's also a lot to play for because there's a spot, I think, to the candidates uh, event tournament coming up. So yeah. So tomorrow is a rest day, and then day after tomorrow, action starts again. I'm very much interested in the Koneru Humpy against Divya Deshmukh match. And um, I mean, Humpy was a superstar even before Deshmukh was born, I think. Yeah. So it's definitely a fight of generations. Humpy, has been there, has been a legend of Indian women's chess for such a long time, and now we have a new generation, and the leader of the new generation, Divya Deshmukh. So we will see what will happen. But either way, um, it will be exciting. Who do I want to win? I'd like to see Divya Deshmukh win. I like always when there are new superstars and this and that, and she seems like a very genuinely nice person. I mean, outside chess, and she's a good ambassador for chess. I think speaks well, behaves. I mean, there's one footage where she was playing. And I think they put the cameras next to the board, like for the face, and she was sitting like that, and then she disturbed the camera. Well, actually, it's a very interesting statement I just said that, because I think it's more like the camera disturbed her, because I mean the camera's got nothing to do with that situation. It's her territory, in a sense that, I mean, when you're playing, you need to be able to put your hands on the table. So it's the player's territory, actually, right? But she kind of knocked the camera, and it was her move in a very important match, but she still, you know, was well mannered. She positioned the camera properly, and she was now aware. Okay, there's a camera. I must be careful. I mean, so she didn't throw a fit or this or that. So yeah, I think she's a very great, good ambassador for chess. And I'm hoping that her success even in South Africa will motivate more female players, girl players to pick up the game and to play, and to study and try to get to be the new generation. Certainly exciting and great times for chess all round. And yeah, India is steadily driving us. We are passengers looking at this show that the Indians are putting up, and it couldn't happen, I think, to a better nation, more behave. They are very well behaved, warm people, and very easy to support. Rather, yeah, they are a very I mean, their superstars are very easy to support because they carry themselves with grace. And yeah, so I'm personally am hoping that the Divya Deshmukh will beat Koneru Humpy, but if Koneru Humpy wins, I also don't mind too much, by the way. So anyway, Divya, who do you wish to win? Please type. Uh, what do you predict first and foremost, and who would you like to see winning the final? And yeah, so like, share, subscribe, please, to help the channel and to help us, pump out the content. And yeah, tomorrow's a rest day, but we'll be keeping our eyes open. And till then, yeah, all I will say to you, dear viewer, right now is till next time, checkmate.